come outside on a really cold morning to talk about tropical tubers. We're going to talk about dahlias in this video, or dahlias, some people will pronounce them. We're in zone 8 here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we can actually leave our dahlias in the ground through the winter time. As long as we don't, if we planted them in fall, that probably wouldn't be a good, or divided them in fall, that probably wouldn't be good. But we're right on the edge of where you can leave them in the ground. But most people, they can be grown in zones 3 to 7 as either annuals or dug up and stored through the winter. Lots of videos on the internet about how to store your dahlia tubers that way. We have a bunch that we allow to cross out here in our own garden, and we collect the seed on them. So we do quite a few from seed, and I highly recommend at some point trying dahlias from seed. You absolutely can. But most people buy them as tubers. Tubers are like, think about potatoes. Potato is a tuber. It's just basically stored starches and starches and sugars, so the plant has all the things it needs in a stored form under the ground for later. Dahlias are native to Mexico and Guatemala and down into probably northern South America. There are a lot of different species, not going to go into that. They've been crossed in a million different ways over the years, and there are 57,000 registered dahlias. It's unbelievable. So as the Aztecs were actually used them in lots of different ways culturally, the Spanish show up, and as early as 1525 reported about these plants in Europe, back in Europe. And in 1570, sometime around there, people were sent to collect valuable things in Mexico. And one of those valuable things that they brought back were dahlias. And from then, it was just on. Dahlias are in the Asteraceae, which is the aster family, which if you have lots of asters probably in your garden, obviously, asters and chrysanthemums and lots of different things that we know. That's one of the biggest, if not the biggest plant family. Orchids are the biggest plant family. They're composites. So when you look at a dahlia, and you're seeing lots of different photos as I'm running my mouth this morning, when asters are, things in the aster family are composite flowers. And so we call that a dahlia flower, but what it is actually lots of flowers all together. Each one of those is an individual flower. And so they're capable, is one of the reasons asters end up being so successful, is they're capable of making lots of great quality seed. Most asters don't rely on fragrance to bring in pollinators, they rely on color. And so they're very vibrant, and that's where we get all of these vibrant colors from dahlias. There's all kinds of different peony forms and singles and lots of different forms that we'll see through this 57,000 named dahlias. They do need rich, organic, well-drained soil. So this is one of those things, if you're going to have them as an investment, you're going to be digging them and replanting them every year, or you're going to be in zone 8 to 10 in the more tropical areas or subtropical areas, you're going to want to improve the soil. So I would not stick them in my clay soil here, because number one, it's not well draining, and it's, would need more organic material. So the area we have our dahlias in back here behind me, around our vegetable garden, is highly organic. The other thing about having those big, bright, colorful flowers in our garden over there is they're going to draw in pollinators, which help with my vegetables being pollinated as well. If you just put 3 vegetable plants in and wonder why you're not getting a lot of fruit sometimes, a lot of times it's about having lots of things, lots of invitations sent out to get bees and other things into your garden to help pollinate those things. But we absolutely love dahlias. We have, the way we go about typically buying them in the past is we'll do some from seed, where we collect our own seed here in the garden. It's very easy to do, it's very easy to store, very easy to start from seed. And then they build tubers over time underground. And the vast majority of them, again, come back for us. But we'll also buy some, we'll be in a box store somewhere and we'll grab one. We'll be in a garden center somewhere and we'll grab one. We've really rarely ever done the mail order thing, but we do have, this year we have a lot coming from Swan Island Dahlias. This is a 99-year-old family-owned company, a little south of Portland. And we hope to be out there next year. Maybe we'll go out there for their 100th anniversary, but we're getting quite a few from them this year, and we'll show you this when we get them in. Typically it's a hair early. This is the great time to be pre-ordering dahlias, and they'll send them to you at the appropriate time for you to put them in the ground in your area. We'll get ours probably a hair early, and then we'll put them in a container and jumpstart them. We have a bunch of jumpstart videos on the channel where we'll get them going, get them growing a bit, and then put them in the ground after we've done that. Coolest thing about this, and I'm going to end this video with some of the ones that we have coming in, photos and that kind of thing. But this thing, they have a new section at the beginning, again with 57,000 different named dahlias. There's probably lots of new ones coming all the time. And then they have them as 10-inch blooms, 8 to 10-inch blooms, and so on and so forth. So they're divided in this catalog. It's one of the coolest dahlia catalogs you'll ever see. So excited to see these. We'll go over them again when we're jump starting them in the spring before we put them in the ground. We definitely, again, these are tropical tubers. So, you know, they cannot really stand frost. We're in zone 8 or 9, and I have them zone 8 and 9 where you can still get freezes. The tuber's underground. It's got that stored energy so that it can come back the next year. If you're in zone 6 or 7 or even colder, obviously the ground's going to freeze that deep, and that tuber is going to be vulnerable to that cold. There's a lot of breeding around shrinking down dahlias and dark foliage and just more miniature, you know, sizes. And I guess people would call that garden friendly. But for me, I like that wild look of the big tall dahlias. I love lots of different asters, lots of different genera and species of asters that just scream, I'm 7 feet tall, please come and pollinate me. You know, I like that. And I think the Aztec words for dahlia were like water cane or something like that, was the translation into Spanish from the Aztec word, because it's a hollow stem that's absolutely full of water. If you ever break one apart, it just, you know, there's tons of water in it, and the stems are hollow. So they had lots of different names for them, but we absolutely love dahlias. If you come to this garden for our open garden event, tickets are over on the HortTube.com channel. You'll see these and lots of others that we have in the ground out here, lots that we do from seed every year, some selections we've made. And one of the coolest things about this year, and you're going to see this video before our event that we're having over at the Ralston on January 15th. The tickets are available for this event on the JC Ralston events page. January 15th, it's called Garden Miles. Steph and I are going to be covering some of our travels from this year that we did not include on the channel. And one of the coolest things we did the entire year is we were near Zundert in the Netherlands, and they have one of the great dahlia festivals on earth. Every year, the nurserymen and farmers in the area grow mass fields of dahlias, and they turn them into like a Rose Bowl parade style floats, okay? And they literally trade, like if they don't have enough white for whatever float they're doing, or enough pink or orange or whatever it is, they literally trade flowers. And everybody comes out for this in September, and it's one of the coolest events. We were there too early to see the actual event, but we were able to go out to the dahlia fields and see them, where they tried to get them all peak flower at that exact same time. And it's one of the coolest events, but it will be part of our story here at the Ralston. Probably just gave that part away, but there'll be lots of other stories at that event as well if you want to go over there and take a look at that. So again, it's time to pre-order dahlias if you're going to order the tubers directly. If you're going to do them from seed, you may want to jump on that as well. So again, one of my top all-time favorite things here in the Raleigh garden. They're fairly easy plants to get a heck of a lot out of, and probably nothing showier than big, beautiful dahlias in the summer and early fall. Thanks for watching.